Try again. There we go, maybe. All right, I think maybe we're set now. Let me know if you can hear me. We'll try to switch over again. Hey everyone, hope you're doing okay. Mike was having an issue there for a second, but hopefully we're set up now. Thanks for your patience with me today. I know I had a couple of you waiting for me this morning, my time, whatever time it is for you. But let's jump straight into the project. I saw this new project on Frontend Mentor and thought it would be all's good. Okay, cool. I thought this would be fun to do. Like all my streams, I don't really try to think about it ahead of time at all or plan anything. I just try to do it live. So I haven't thought about tech stack other than I'll probably use Astro because, well, it's not, hopefully that's predictable at this point, but looks like basically, I haven't even really looked at what this is. I know it looks like active and inactive, so I'm guessing this is some kind of filter. Maybe a light dark mode toggle. You can get rid of these, like just delete them all together, I guess. Okay, so that's about all I know. I have downloaded it. So let's go ahead and look at that. I've got that over here, and I'm assuming there's more inside here. So let's go ahead and just kind of talk through this, figure out what we're gonna do. I don't know if I'll use like React or honestly maybe just vanilla JavaScript and like set up a little mock server or something. All right, so let's figure out what's going on. Build out this browser extension manager. As close to design as possible. I'll probably focus more on functionality, but I've said that before, so I guess the proof will be in the doing. Any tools? Let's do, how about Astro? So let's do that. Oh, cool. They're giving you data files. I always have to like make my own with Frontend Mentor, so I'm glad that they're doing this now. Toggle extensions between active and inactive. Filter. Remove extensions from the list. Select their color theme. What does that mean? View the optimal layout for interface. Yeah. Hover focus states. Okay. I don't really know what that means to select their color. I don't know. Okay. Well, I guess we can figure it out hopefully in the design stuff. Okay. Submitting, sharing. Okay. Anyhow. I'm not sure where that, oh, I guess that's if you submit it. Okay, so let's go ahead and I guess get some basic stuff set up. Maybe I should just use Tailwind. Yeah, maybe we do that. Okay, so let's get stuff set up. I am in the folder. Let's do ppm create Astro at latest. Actually, don't I have like a Astro starter thing or something? Yeah. So let's go to, I guess we'll call this Frontend Mentor dashboard. What is that? Browser extension dashboard UI. Okay, so it'll skip past all this stuff and just give me a basic template. Yeah, hopefully everyone's doing okay today. Let me know where you're watching from. If there's any issues with the stream or anything like that. If the music's too loud. I think last time I streamed, I did this without talking, so it may be that the music's a little loud. I'm going to guess that it is, so I'll turn it down a touch. Let me know if that's an issue. Let me know if you want me to not talk. We can also do that. All right, so now we're inside here. Let's just npm run dev and see what we got. Okay, so back over this way. Localhost 4321. All right, so we got something, and here's the actual Astro stuff. So I guess the first thing let's do is let's get, come on, npx Astro add. Let's just do Tailwind for now. Don't want to add anything else. I don't think so. All right, either I'm missing stuff or people are just quiet today, which is totally fine. Looks like people are quiet. Okay, cool. All right, so Tailwind. I think I'll just do vanilla JavaScript here. Yeah, I think I'll just do that. What else do I want to do? npmi, let's do JSON server Isn't that what it's called? To kind of get a little mock REST server here. JSON server. How do I do this again? Serving static files. Oh, this is interesting. I don't think I knew you could do that. That's kind of cool. Okay, so we'll just run JSON server. That's cool. Okay, well, let's come back over here. And let's actually create a little endpoint here. So this server will basically spin it up as if it were server, so we'll get all the like endpoints we need as if we were connecting with a database. So let's come over here. We'll do like server, I guess. Come on. JSON, I think it's like JSON server db.json or whatever we end up calling it. I guess we call it data.json because that's what they gave us, right? So let me drag this out to just the base directory here, I think. Okay, so let's try that. So npm run server. Let's see what it does. Yeah, so it spins it up at localhost 3000. And we can come inside here to each of these. Okay, so I need to restructure this data a little bit then. So let's call this like extensions. Right? What am I doing here? This needs to be like this. All right. What am I doing wrong? Does this whole thing need to be wrapped? Oh yeah, I have to wrap the whole thing, duh. Pardon the brain malfunction this morning. All right, now this here, if it'll let me. Come on, there we go. Okay, so now if we come back here, extensions right here. Okay, so now each of these has an item. I probably want to have. Let's go ahead and grab all of these, and I want to use text pastry and just give them an ID. So let's do like ID equals 1, 2, 3, whatever. I think that should work. 1, 2. Why doesn't it like me? Oh, interesting. Not sure where that happened. Okay, so now they should all have an ID as well, which means I can hit like a single endpoint too. So like 1, right? Does it give these things IDs? Posts 1, that's what I hit, right? Oh, they have to be strings. Okay. But basically this will allow us to have a more realistic setup without having to actually set up a full database and all that kind of stuff. So now, oops, I think I can come to, come on, 1. Okay, yeah, and it gives me 1. Okay, cool. So now we've got that set up. That's good. Let's split this and let's do npm run dev. And that should get this back up and running. So the first thing I want to do is grab all those. I don't think this makes sense for a, hey, welcome everyone. Artem, welcome. Hey, you're welcome. Saran, maybe? Welcome as well. So I don't think that this should be a content collection. That doesn't super make sense. Because probably, honestly, this should be client-side rendered, because maybe we could have like a little skeleton loading animation. Because I started so late, I might run out of time. Let's see, these are hover states, focus states, filters. Okay. So yeah, let's maybe just pull this in using client-side JavaScript. Astro server actions. That's what we should do. Or server islands. Anyways, I have a split keyboard now that I'm not using right now, but I use most of the time now. So, but I'm not quite comfortable enough yet to like code publicly with it. I'm just a little slower. But now I'm like bad at both keyboards, so that's my world right now. What are we at? What was I gonna do? npm npx astro add. Let's do like Vercel. That way we can add an SSR adapter and do yeah, like server islands. That'd be kind of cool. And then we could have placeholders for each of those. I like this. Okay, so let's do npm run dev. And just to talk through what this is, and also it's been a bit since I've done it. I feel like I've not coded a ton recently, so I feel kind of rusty. Or docs, there we go. Let's just make this thing bigger. Let's go server islands. Okay, so basically all you have to do is define server defer, and it will automatically create it as an island basically. So do they not have server islands? Also, I do have an ad right now going with Astro, which is insane to me, but it's on these docs here. So if you're interested in my course, you can grab it if you like for 20% off using that link, which is, again, I just feel, yeah, it's been so cool to have that. But here you can see you can pull in something and just add server defer and then have a fallback if you want. And then basically once that thing comes in, I'm not sure why this thing is still blurred. I guess I'm just going to get rid of myself. There we go. Oh, interesting. Let me open this up and move it so you're not seeing my stomach only. Hey everyone. Okay. So then it will basically fetch that. So let's see if they give you actual examples. Yeah, so you can grab the item, fetch that thing, and bring it in. So that's what we're going to do. All right, so let's go ahead and create a component. We'll just call this like, it probably needs to be the whole wrapper. So we'll just call it extensions. I think that's fine. Extensions wrapper, maybe. Let's do that. Astro. All right, so what we're going to do is inside here, we're going to have the fetch call to our endpoint. So we could probably make this more fancy, but let's just do like res equals await, fetch, and then we're going to go for local host 3000 extensions. All right, then we should get this back, and const data equals await fetch. Oops, what am I doing? Res.json. All right, and then let's just output like a pre-tag or something for now, just to make sure we're getting something. And we'll do data.json.stringify data null 2. All right. Oh yeah, we have to actually pull this in. So let's do that here. So for now, we'll do extensions wrapper like this. There we go. Okay, so we're actually getting all the stuff in. That's cool. Now I just want to loop through all these items, and eventually we'll server defer. In fact, we can do the server defer now. Server defer. Get static paths is required for the dynamic routes. Do I need to do pre-render? I guess I do, because this page is using it, right? Or do I need to do it here? I think I need to do it here. Export const pre-render equals false, not fade. Maybe I need to do it over here. I don't remember exactly. Astro. Let's just change the output to server for now. I'm not sure why it's choking on that. Okay. I don't know which one I messed up, but now it doesn't matter. Oh, it's just not saving anything, maybe. What's going on? Hey, comrade, welcome. K-Ron. K-Ron? Maybe, yeah? Ahmed, first time, welcome. Velahan Kara. Hopefully that's right. Welcome. Why is this having issues? Let's just reload the window. Save that. Save this. Okay, now we're good. So it's going to hit this endpoint, and we'll have a fallback in here. So maybe let's go ahead and just like await new promise. Where? Goodness, I cannot type today. We do. What am I even doing? New. Nope. Set timeout. Where we resolve like after two seconds. What am I doing wrong here? 2 seconds, like that, with another one. Okay, so 1, 2, then the stuff comes in. What am I messing up here? Write me a 2 second wait. I don't know. What did I mess up? Sure, this is what I'm wanting. New promise. Yeah. Isn't that what I did? Oh, I wrote it as a function. Chris, you're an idiot. Okay. Await. New promise. 1, 2, then it comes in. All right, so that way we can kind of see the fallback. Otherwise, it's going to be too fast, is what I'm saying. So let's come inside here, and we're just going to say like paragraph is like fallback. So now we can basically hit this. It waits as it fetches that and then returns it to us. Because it's so fast, because it's local. I don't know that I want it to wait quite that long, but we could have it wait a second so we can see like a loading animation, or I don't know, maybe like 600 milliseconds. Okay, still not the craziest, fastest API, but you know, it's a fake one. So, all right, now what we want to do is loop over each of these items. So I think what we'll do is, let's create another, because we want, if I want some kind of like loading state here of these items, they're all going to be inside of a list anyhow. So let's do like list wrapper. Is that what I want to do? Sure. Yeah, Astro. Okay, so let's try that. So what I'm going to want to do here is just have, we'll call this section. We'll give it an ARIA label of like extension list. And then inside here, we're going to have all those individual items. So let's just go ahead and do a class of grid, gap. I don't know that I super care if they're perfect here. We'll do grid. Should I do flex here? No, I think I'd rather keep it on a grid. Yeah, I think it'll be less code. Grid calls. How do you do this? And we're going to do auto fit. Oh man. My brain is not working this morning. I want to do auto fit. We're going to do like min, max, 300 pixels and 1 fraction. Is that going to work? Okay, let's see. So inside here, we're going to pull in the list wrapper. If it'll let us. So const or import list wrapper from list wrapper. Okay, so let's do that, and we'll do like hi or something for each of these. I guess we can loop through and at least show those. So let's say once we have data, we'll do data.map for each item. We'll just output like a paragraph with the I dot title or whatever that thing happened to be called. Title, name. Okay, we'll type that later, I think. 1, 2. That should be fine. Oh. Why is this not outputting anything? Data.map. For each of those items, I output I.name. That should work. then for right now, let's not worry about it. We'll just do hi. Make sure that something's coming in. Huh. Maybe this is the issue. That doesn't make any sense. Man, everything is like not saving. Anyhow, imports the time. Nice, thanks, Ahmed. I think that'll work for now, what I got, but I was just trying to demonstrate that, and everything's not quite firing in all cylinders this morning. Okay, so we've got this fallback that is not showing now. Let me just... let's do like slate 950. See why this is working. This should be saying hello as the fallback here, right? Man, I'm making a lot of work out of this. Oh, I forgot to add it as a slot, Chris. Okay, well, either way, let's do extensions to wrapper, list wrapper. All right, and we're gonna call the slot equals fallback. And now, inside here, let's say hi or something. Okay, so now this should work. No, why is this not showing? Show up to the stream where Chris forgets to connect anything at all. I didn't import the CSS. Goodness. All right. You guys just want to restart? I feel like let's just restart. Okay, the stream is now officially going to restart. Okay. Hey, everyone. Nothing ever happened. Okay, here we are. We've got this nice fallback. I forgot to have this whole thing show anything. Let's say hi again. Starts with hi, goes to hi again. Everything's working. It's like first time, first try. We had no issues whatsoever. Okay, so now we have a slot where we're dropping in all this content. Gosh. And then inside here, what I want to do is we'll have some kind of loading state eventually. So let's just say loading for now. And then let's get this stuff working. Goodness. Okay, so now what I want to do is inside here, I want to loop over all those items. So data.map, each item, which we should probably type at some point. So maybe I'll do that. So let's first of all make sure I actually get this item name. Okay, there we go. You have to actually put slots for things to work. Gosh. Okay. So let's go back to my data here. Let's grab all this and let's just type this. In fact, I guess I only really need that here, but just in case, let's add a types. Then we're going to say like cards or extensions. TS, and then TS, JSON. There we go. Oops. Let me grab all this. Where's my data? JSON. There we go. Okay. We're going to call this extensions. And then I'll just paste this in over here. And I typically use types. So I think as long as you're consistent, that's really all that matters. Okay. So we've done nothing yet, but it's about to get amazing. Just you wait. So extensions like this. Oh yeah, I should probably wait that there. Let's just tag it on here and call it good. Extension item. Okay. So now I know what type that is. This should be what did I have that as extensions? Extension? That makes no sense. So let's just do extension item like this. Okay. Which means I shouldn't even need that. Okay, so now I know what the type is. I mean, loosely, it's not super strong, but okay, so now we can actually work with this. So let's create a card then. So we'll do card.astro, where we now actually get to do stuff. So how do these cards look? Where's my design? Okay. So they look like this. Do they give me anything in the design file? This was like the weirdest music ever. I can barely hear it, but I'm just going to skip that. Let's get this thing that's just like loosely designed for now, so they don't give me actual values for any of this stuff. I think you get that with Pro, which I don't have, but that'll work. So let's close this down. Split this here. Okay, so we're going to call this like an article. And let's see. I'm going to get all this stuff. So let's just spread it in, I guess. This is also weird music. It kind of feels like it's weird music. I don't know. Let's go. Yeah, I guess let's spread in all this stuff. Or we'll just call it like card, whatever, that's fine, equals astro.props. And then we'll type props as card equals extensions item, like that. Okay. So now I should have all the stuff inside here. What does that actually give me? Assets logo. So I need to have these things. I'll do it here. And in this case, I think what I'll do is change all these. Let's do this. Assets like that. And then that means I also need to change my TS config. So basically I want to add compiler options so that I can use aliases. We'll do base URL and then paths, src. Is this a good idea to be doing this from memory this morning? Probably not. But let's see what that does. Not going to be able to pull that in here, huh? Man, VS Code is not playing nice today. Can't find anything. Can you pull this in? No? But now it's fine? Okay. Let's make sure this is working. Okay, so I messed something up in my typing. Chris. Aliases, import aliases. This is what I want. JSON. What do I do? At, like this. Okay, so now let's try it. At components. Let's drop her. Okay, that's working. Okay, cool. All right. Not sure why I went through quite all that, but let's come back to my card. Over here. So now these images basically should display in the proper place, which is all I was trying to get them to do. So this top section, I think what we'll do is just have two sections. It doesn't look like any of these extend beyond. So this top section and the bottom section. So this will be like flex. Let's do item start. We'll do like, I don't know, gap 4, something like that. And here for now, we're just going to have an image. How should I handle this? We're going to do the card dot logo dot src. How is I going to pull that in? I guess we also need to actually use this. Let's close that down. Extensions a wrapper. Then we're going to pass each of these to a card. Like that. And I'm just going to spread in the eye. Come on. did I set that as card? What did I set that as? Card, okay. Card equals I. Okay. So now each of those items comes in. Oh, you know, I think just to not worry about those dynamic imports, I'm going to just put this on public. Yeah. So let's do that. And then I'm going to go to my data file and replace all these here with just assets. So it should go. Actually, I think I probably need to do, because it's on a different port, localhost 4321 maybe? Assets? No, I shouldn't have to do that, because it's grabbing that and then I think should be able to dynamically get that. Okay, so let's go to card. Card.logo. What is it trying to find? Browser extension, src, assets, image. No, it should be here. All right, let's just restart this. There's a problem evidently with the JSON too. No? Is everyone going to be happy now? For no reason. Okay, cool. All right, so let's then get this in here. We're going to call this the same thing. So card.name. And then over here, I guess these should be like H2s. Or I'll have the card.name again. All right, down below here, let's have another section, flex, justify between, probably item center. We're gonna have a button here, say remove, and then we'll have like a toggle here. Perfect, everything is awesome. It's all working great. So this will be a little switch. This button, normally I'd make this its own component, so probably I should do that. And usually I put these under UI, so button.astro. Yeah, and let's just go and do this real simple. Yeah. So const, I guess I don't really need anything passed in here, but let's do type props, extends, interface. Can I make this bigger so I can actually see what's going on? And here I want to pull in HTML attributes. Man, this is not helping me out at all today. HTML attributes. Why can it not find anything? HTML attributes from Astro. Come on. You can do it. HTML attributes. Astro.props. I just know we're going to need an ID passed in here. So I guess let's just do an ID and call it a day, since it's not helping me with the import and I don't want to have to look it up. We'll pass on the ID here. And then here, I guess we'll just have like a slot and type props equals ID string. Okay. Not ideal, but interface props extends. That was my first problem. But HTML attributes is still Astro types. Now it shows. Okay. So that's what we want. And then I want to just say that the ID has to be there. So I can pass in anything. And that means I can also have the rest spread in here. So it's a quick and dirty way to do this. All right. And we don't really have different types. I guess we have this one. These are, you know, they're their own toggles and stuff. So maybe we should do this on one. That'll work. Yeah. So let's have a few different types, I guess. We'll do like style, I guess. And basically we'll have small and filter or large. I don't know. And then I guess let's just style types. let's just keep it real simple. We'll say that small, and then we'll have a bunch of strings here, and then large, we'll have a bunch of strings here. I usually use like CVA and make this really complicated, but let's do a class list where we have this directive, where I'm going to have my default stuff, whatever this is, and then after this I will spread in my style here, and let's just set this default to small, and that way I don't have to pass this in. The rest of these I probably do need an ID for sure though, and probably unique at that, but we can worry about that with JavaScript. Okay, so inside here we're going to have what are my defaults? So I got these different states depending if they're selected or not. Are these going to be the same? Now I got to open all this up. So hover state, those all look the same. Focus states, they look generally the same. This one just has a slightly different. So the focus states can be the same for the most part. Let me just start with this one and we'll figure out what the big one is when we get there and we can refactor. Okay, so it looks like I have a few different states. So this is dark focus. Okay, so let's just add this focus state for now. This would be, at least for now, we're going to say focus, outline, none. Probably should do transparent, but focus visible. Now I get to test my tailwind knowledge without any IntelliSense. So maybe I should do it down below here, and then we'll just pass this up top. So let's do this. Focus visible, ring, maybe 4. Focus, let's do ring offset 2, ring color. Now we got to set up all those colors. Let's just leave it like that for now. Okay, so we have to actually use these buttons. So let's do that. So I'm going to pull in the button. This needs an ID, and we'll do the ID should be, do I want IDs for all these? I don't really have to. Yeah, I don't have to. So let's just spread it in if I do want it. Because I think for these I would tend to actually do like a data extension or something like that. And then here I would pass in the ID of the extension. So I'll do card.id. So now all of these buttons here, they should get that spread in afterwards. So data extension 1, data extension 2, yeah. Okay, so that'll work. So now I know which one it is. And then I can run a query off all these data extensions. And then I'll probably also do like data button. And then this will basically be a type of a few options. So this one would be remove or data action. I don't know. So we can use these custom data attributes to know if we're removing something, toggling something, and then run all my JavaScript off that. So I think that's what I'll do. Okay. So we got that. Let's go ahead. We're already using the default style. So if I come over here, yeah, that'll work. Let's also do rounded. I don't even know. Full, maybe. Sure. We'll do, this one's almost certainly going to be up here. So let's do like px2, py1. I'm just playing around with this at this point. Why is this not applying? Because I haven't actually added it. Okay, so we're going to say style types, and then we'll pick off the style. So now that should work. Okay, there we go. Let's go back to what I thought it probably was. Sure, that'll work. Okay, back over here. I don't know that I want to mess with color right now since I've taken so long to do anything of value today. So let's just do like slate 100 just so we can make sure that something's happening. Okay, cool. So we'll get to all that stuff later. But for now, let's not. I'm also going to do cursor, pointer, cursor. Oh, cursor, pointer. There we go. Okay. So for now, we can at least handle that. I probably want to have a backup of my data because I'm going to be deleting stuff out of it. So that's another thing. So let's make sure we do that. Okay, so we'll do like backup. Okay. Let's get the functionality for remove in there, I guess. So this card, I'm going to have, what is this? This thing doesn't like VS Code this morning. I don't know what's going on. All right, so we're going to grab, oh, I'm so sorry. There's so many people saying stuff. Let's see. Prettier extension doesn't work with Astro. It should. Watching your Astro Block series right now, awesome. Even if stuff's changed, yeah, there's stuff that's changed. A lot of the core is still the same, so yeah, yeah, I do like Astro. HTML the props components, huge new videos. Oh, thanks. I am using Tailwind. Okay, cool. Sorry I missed all that. All right, so let's go ahead and grab all those buttons. So we'll say, let's call them like remove buttons. Equals, oh wait, nope. Document dot query selector all. We're gonna select anything with the, let's see, data extension. No, data action that equals remove. Did I do that right? Let's check. Come on. Yeah, so I should have 12 items. Okay, cool. And then I guess, do I need these as an array or can they just be, yeah, I think they can just be delete things. That should work. Okay, so let's do this. Let's, how do I want to do this? Because I want to probably be optimistic and delete them as soon as you click, but they have to hit an endpoint. So I should also probably not really remove them since we're doing vanilla JavaScript here. So let's do remove buttons dot map. Nope, for each. Let's just do for const button of remove buttons. I've been using like this for of loop more recently. I don't know why, just that's what's happened. Button to add event listener. Ooh, maybe I should do one. Now let's just do it for each of them. That's fine. Where we have the event. What am I doing? Click. Yeah, so for now, just to make sure this is working, let's console log clicked. Okay. All right, and then I'm gonna get rid of that. Let's see, clicked. Okay. If I click over here, nothing should happen. Okay. Let's get rid of the delayed state so that every time I refresh, I don't have to watch that. Okay. So I think what I want to do is create a little Astro action. That makes sense to me. So actions, let's just look at it real brief. So actions, what they do, I'm not really explaining myself very well or doing anything well this morning, so apologies, but you have an actions folder, and then you have an index, which is where they all live, where you export a const called server, and you define each action, which can either be directly in here, or you can import it from another file. But this essentially sets up, you have to have SSR enabled, which I do, but this essentially sets up like a helper, where you get type safety, you can define a schema, and then like as you have these things, so like this action is get greeting. You've defined this action where you say it has to have this kind of input, and then you can input either using a form, or in this case, we'll just input using JSON, because you have a couple different types, and then you can handle it, and it takes care of like errors and stuff like that for you. And so it just makes things nice. Like here you can see, like in a script tag, which is what we're using, we're gonna do something, right? So we're gonna hit this action and pass along some data, in this case named Houston, and then if there's an error, then we can show an alert and all this kind of stuff. But we're actually letting the Astro action do a lot of that stuff for us. So anyhow, see if there's anything else I probably need to explain. There's a bunch of stuff you can do with errors, like how you want to throw those, and I think we probably need to keep this simple for the sake of time because I don't have a ton of it. Index.ts. So let's just copy this to speed us up to. All right, so we're going to say like delete extension. And the input here, we're going to take in an ID. And this will be a z.string. And then here I can just destructure ID actually, so let's do that. And now what we're going to do is probably should do like a try catch, but for sake of time, I'm just going to go, well, yeah, let's just const res equals await fetch where we need to post. How does this work? Delete. Yeah, just to the ID. Okay, so we're going to fetch our HTTP 3000 localhost. Let me just grab this. Not sure why I'm typing that out. Extensions, and then we're going to pass in the ID dynamically here. So where the ID happens to be, and this will be a method of delete. And if I do that and I hit this, this should be successful. So const data equals res. I forget what it returns to you exactly. I don't remember. I'm sure it's going to be great though. .json, I think it returns some kind of JSON. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay. And then out of these actions, you need to return something here. So I'll just like return success or whatever. And I guess we should probably have, maybe we should return some JSON instead. Okay, so let's do that. I think I can just return data like that. This will come back as the data, I think. So yeah, we can say if res. Well, if we throw any error, it should return that first. So I think this is fine. Yeah, let's just call it a day. I don't even really need to grab this. I guess if there's an error with it, that might be helpful to catch. Okay, this is very, very minimal, but hopefully it's halfway helpful. So we're going to do async here. First thing I need to do is grab the ID. So I can grab the const ID equals button.data set. Right? This should be a data set. Okay. The ID. Let's see. On type element. Well, that should be okay. Oops. Let's console log this. All right, just to make sure I'm getting something. Pull this up. So if I click on here, ID undefined. What am I messing up here? Does this need to be an array? No, that doesn't make sense. Let's just as node list of button HTML button. Is that how this works? I think. Okay, so now ID.data set dot oh yeah, extension. Okay, so now if I click in here, okay. Well, I didn't even name the thing the right thing. Typing didn't really help me there, but okay, so now what I can do is pass that along. So if we look back at the actions documentation, just like right here, we can actually pick off the data in the error, or we're going to await the action. So let's grab that. Actions dot. So first of all, I need to import actions, which it's not letting me. Actions. This is not helping me out here today. Delete extension, I think is what it was called, where we're going to pass the ID along, which will be the ID. So we could do ID, but we could also just do it like that and that'll work. So since it's not going to let me import it, let me just do that manually here, like a cave person. Okay, string undefined is not defined. So So we can just do like if ID. Then we'll do this. How about that? All right, so we should get back either data or error. So let's just assume that we're going to get back data. We are not. Did I call it something else? Delete extension. We take it an ID. What's the matter with this? Internal server, data undefined. Fetch failed. Well, that's because I don't know how to type anything. At least you know it's working now, right? Okay, so we got rid of that. We got rid of that. We got rid of that. So it's actually deleting stuff. Okay. You know those days where you're just like, should I just give up completely? So let's paste it back in here. Okay, so now we should have them all if I refresh. Okay, so that's working. We did a thing. It worked. I don't know if you noticed that. Success. Let's see. Not sure exactly why it's reloading every time. Right? It's weird, right? Because I'm just trying to console log the data that I get back. Success true. Yeah, there we go. Why is it reloading though? Maybe that's just how JSON placeholder is working for some random reason. I don't know. Not important. Let's come back in here, repaste all that. Okay, so now we should have them all back. Maybe, yeah, all back. Okay, so we're just gonna call that a day. Probably like there's a ton more you need to do, like error handling, like a optimistic UI, which is just like we're loading the page, so we're not really having to do that, but that's fine, that'll work. Okay, so let's come back over here. And next let's do something with the switch, I guess. So we're gonna do the same basic thing where we copy this down. And here we're gonna have like a toggle extension where we get an ID, we hit this endpoint. Isn't there like a patch or put or something? Yeah, I guess we'd be patching. And in this case, what can I do? I guess I can just pass along data. Or, yeah, like a body. Right? Can I read what it currently is? Let's see. What would I want to do here? Yeah, let's or no, I want to switch the active. What do they call that? Data is active. Right? What am I messing up here? JSON.stringify is active. And let's, like, now let's just hard code this to false. If we hit this. So if I come over here and we toggle that eventually. So we now need to make the toggle. So let's come over here to UI. We're going to say toggle.astro. And here there should be an input type of checkbox. Except I want to surround all of this in a div. And we're going to kind of manually do some of this. So I think in this case, what is this thing supposed to even look like? Okay. So we're going to have this input be first. We'll have this class be relative. And I think I'm just going to hard code all this stuff in here for sake of time. So let's do like height 4, width 8, something like that. Rounded full. And let's actually use this. So this toggle right here. Let's do toggle. We'll do data extension equals. We'll pass in the card.id. And then what else do I need to do? Data action will be like toggle, I guess. Okay. So now what do I need to do? This needs to be class absolute. We'll do inset 0. And then let's go ahead and let's just style this one directly, I guess. Background blue 400 doesn't really matter at this point because we're like hardly doing what we're supposed to be doing. Let's do like 5 and 12. I don't know, 10 something. All right. Eventually, like this whole thing should cover this whole section. So anywhere I click, right, should work. So let's do cursor, pointer, cursor, pointer, cursor. Why can't I ever remember what this thing is called? Cursor, pointer, right? Cursor, pointer. There we go. Okay. Let's do opacity of 0. And then what we're going to do is basically do this as a peer and tailwind. Basically what we're just saying is it's a sibling, and when the sibling is checked, then we'll do certain things to this little toggle thing we're going to create. So let's have a little height. Let's do size 4, background white, rounded full. I think that should work. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Let's do relative. Nope. Absolute. I'll do top 1. 0.5. Yeah, because I should split that. Left is 0.5. And then what we'll do is just basically say if the peer is checked, then we're going to do translate, transform, translate. Let's do like full, I guess. That could have gone better. So we're going to do translate X full. Just about there. Okay, so let's just make this thing a little smaller. See, 10, 9, it should be 8. I think we'll put that right in the middle, maybe. No, that it should be 9, right? Because of how we're splitting that. Yeah, okay. So that works. Last thing I want to do is do cursor or pointer none, pointer events none. That way I can't click on that. Cool. All right, and then we should probably have some kind of ARIA label on this because this is the actual thing they're selecting. Should probably also have this as a select. So we're going to say when peer focus, peer focus. Yeah, that'll work. We'll do outline none, peer focus visible. We'll do ring 4, ring offset 2, and now I should be able to. Oh, do I want it like that, or I want the whole thing? I think I want the whole thing. So, right? I don't remember where that was at. Yeah, I guess I want the whole thing. So we'll just do that right here then. And we'll get rid of the peer parts. Actually, I want the whole thing. So we're going to go out one more to here and put it up here. And instead of focus, we're going to say focus within. Outline none, focus visible. Is there a focus visible within? I don't think so. Okay. There we go. All right, so that works. Last thing is probably need to pass in some kind of like ARIA label. Astro.props. Say ARIA label equals. And here what we're going to do is like toggle. Yeah, I think this should work. So toggle probably need to give it the name of the extension here. So we'll say card.name extension. And then I'll say like on or off depending on what it is. So here let's check off the card.isActive. Then we'll say off. Otherwise we'll say on. Then we need to pass this down. So we'll say type props equals aria label is a string. And then let's go ahead and add this here. Should I do it on the div or on the input? Probably the input, right? Because that'll be the thing that's being selected. So for screen readers, I think that's right. Let's check in a second. Aria label would be aria label. Okay, so let's check command function F5. Yeah, okay. Let's see, remove button has keyboard focus. Toggle dev lens extension off. That's what we want. So it's not going to be dynamic though. Yeah, that's right. So I could update that as well using JavaScript maybe. Okay, well, we probably should also hook this up to if it's checked or not. So that's the other thing I need is checked. This is a Boolean. We're going to grab checked here. And then we'll just say that this is checked equals checked. All right. And now I just need to pass this down. So, in this tangled mess, we're going to say checked equals card.isActive. Some are checked and some are not. Okay. There's more we need to do. Like, I guess we should probably say like if, ooh, I think I need to move some of this out to, yeah. I think I need to have another div. Peer. Yeah, I think I need to do it like this. Class. Like this, where we're going to drop this stuff in here. And in this case, we're going to go back to our peer. So, peer focus. Then we're going to change that. And here, this will be a group. No. We'll change this to group as well. And I think I can just change all these to group. So in Tailwind, you can kind of like, it's just like hacking CSS the way they've set it up. But all right, let's make sure that that's correct. Definitely not. Okay. So group focus. Whenever this group is focused, this should happen. Whenever the group is checked. Is group checked a thing? Yeah. And we'll say here that when the group is checked, and the background should be blue 400. Let's switch this back to peer just to, okay, something's going on. So maybe I misunderstand how a group works or something. It's been a while since I've used it. Peer checked, or otherwise we're going to do background blue like 200 or something. Slate 50, I don't know. Okay, so that's mostly right. Now I just need to figure this thing out. So peer checked. I guess if this is all inside, this doesn't need to be inside here either because it's all relative to that. So yeah, I think that'll work. So now we're going to say absolute peer checked. I feel like this should be grouped now. This can't be grouped though because it's not And this isn't a direct peer, so maybe that's the issue. Let's move this up here and see what happens if I do this. It's also not responding. Your focus ring visible. Let's do that instead. Number 1. What am I messing up here? Let's see. You should probably check them out. Sorry, just a second. React and Next. Yep, React is awesome. So is Next. Hey, welcome. I was just trying to do this with vanilla JavaScript because it's not complicated. I mean, this is the same CSS we'd struggle with in React, unfortunately. So, I mean, you could show this differently or whatever, or display it differently, but I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. Peer checked. Maybe that. Chris. For anyone watching, this has not exactly been the most stellar day of coding I've ever engaged in, but okay. So I mean, I've done nothing. All right, let's come in here. We'll do class. We'll do like max width of. Well, it should have actually. Clearly, the wrapper thing I have is not working. So how would I set this up? Auto fit min max. So I need to repeat. Which I didn't do. Repeat min max like this. Auto fit, repeat, min max. What am I messing up? Repeat goes on the outside. That's right. Repeat. Auto fit. Min max 250. All right, so let's repeat. Auto fit, comma, min max, all this stuff. Man, I am making work out of this. Now this thing won't even respond to me. Repeat, auto fit, min max. That should work. Do I have to like add this as an underscore maybe? Maybe I also need one here. And tail one. Repeat, auto fit, min max. Grid template columns. What am I messing up? Repeat, auto fit. I need a dash. Chris. Okay, we did a thing. All right. So now we can at least toggle this. Let's actually hit our endpoint. Gosh. Okay, so we've got these data action toggles. Let's just repeat all this. So we'll add little event listeners. Here's the part where React might speed you up a little bit. We could say like toggle buttons. We're going to say that this is toggle. Is that what I call these things? Yeah, toggle. All right, and then here we're going to toggle extension ID. See if this thing worked. Nope. Okay, so back over here. Is active false. So I just have this set to whatever it is. So what we want to do is change actually hit our endpoint, patch. What if I just change like the title or the name to something just to see if this is working? So that way we get like immediate visual feedback. Method patch body. Why is this not working? All right, let's Let's at least get the filtering down, and then we'll go from there. Because I am hitting this ID extension. That's how this is set up, right? Patch the individual ID. I should be able to just send along the actual content here. What am I messing up? All right, you let me know below why I try to do something of value with the last few minutes I have. So, let's have extension list. So let's come up top here. Let's have a fallback. So I'm going to put this promise back just so we can kind of see a fallback. And I think what we're going to do is just say, so we'll do array dot can I do like length 12 or something? Yeah. Dot map for each item. We're gonna have an article. Doesn't really matter what it is, but I'll say class. Height is like, I don't know, 20, 80 pixels, sure. Width, they'll be like, I don't know, 40, 160, 60, I don't care. Black background, slate, like 50. Look at that amazing thing we got going on. List wrapper, fallback. That should work. Rounded full. All right. Rounded extra large. I don't know. That should work. I'm curious why this list wrapper is not wrapping this stuff. Maybe let me just do this and we'll wrap this in a div where this is class, or sorry, slot fallback. Huh. I don't know. I guess the list wrap will probably need to be with 100 or like full. Maybe that's the issue. No, I don't know. It's not important. Okay. So now at least we've got that section. Let's come back over here. That whole bottom area is what's server deferred. So let's open up another desktop card here. We've got extensions list. So let's grab that. Text to Excel, font bold. Again, I'm not super worried about what this looks like exactly, so forgive me. Class, grid, gap 4. That'll work. Let's have this split. Oops. Flex, gap 4, items center, justify between. Because over here, we're going to have toggles for all inactive and active. So probably honestly makes sense to me to have some kind of like filter buttons or something up here. This can be an array where we have like name is all. And for the IE, let's see what I'd want to do is filter by, let's just keep it real simple. Let's just say we have 3. All, active, and inactive. All right, so we're gonna add our filter buttons here. We're gonna have a, I guess we need a little div, flex, items center, gap 2. Let's see, what do I ever flex those? Probably, who cares for now. We're not really making this thing look awesome anyhow. So we'll take our filter buttons.map, and for each button, we're gonna pass this to our button component that we created. That's not importing. There we go. Or we have b.b. That's it. Okay, so we get all those. Style, we should probably do large. Was that one of our options? Yeah, so let's come back to our button. We're gonna basically do the same thing, except I think this was a little bit bigger. Call it a day. Something like that. Okay. I probably need to find a way to see if they're active or not. So that's another thing I could probably pass down here, like is active. And this could be, oops, a Boolean. And then we could just say like have all this stuff if it is active, which we need to pull in from here, is active. I like having these objects where you can like apply conditional classes based on stuff. And so like if it is active, so let's go ahead and on each of these items, where are we at? Index. Filter button, we're gonna say if it is active. And we'll do a check basically off of the filter. So I think what I'm gonna do is have like a query param. Come on. Where like it'll be like filter equals whatever. So let's just say like for now we'll just do it off one of them. So we'll say like if is, eventually we'll have the filter up there, but let's just say if like b equals all, then it'll be active. So just so we can see it. Button. All right, so if it is active, then we'll do like background red 400 or something. What did I do wrong here? B equals all. I bet it's being overwritten. Button. Now this should come after. Is active. Let's just console log it and see what's going on. Undefined is active. True, false, false. And then nothing after that. Yeah, so those should be fine, but that one should be true. This means this should apply background red 400 if it is active. Right? So what am I messing up? Style comes here. Where's the color coming in? Right here. So let's get rid of this and see what happens. Interesting. Why is that overwriting it? Oh, I probably need to use tailwind merge because I'm merging these classes. Okay. npmi tailwind merge. Then I should probably create a helper. For now, we're just gonna say merge, tw merge, tailwind merge. What's this theme of the code editor? I'm guessing. Peer checked, peer checked. Yeah, sorry. You know, there's times where you're like beating your head, like, come on. Tailwind merge. So let's merge all this here, because this should give us a string of classes. Right? Shouldn't this give me all this stuff? Tailwind merge. Class. Do I have to do it like this? Maybe. I forget how I usually set this up with tailwind merge. I guess I could just do a list of classes, but then obviously this has to be a little bit more stringified, but that's fine, whatever, at this point. All right, so let's do this. We're just gonna say inside here, we're gonna pick off the style types and pick off the style. What else am I gonna do? And then like is active. Then we'll do background red 400. Otherwise, we'll do just an empty string. All right, that should work. And one more wrapper. Okay, so that works. Because basically the classes are like overriding each other. So, all right, so what we're gonna do is say on the home page, which is right here, let's at least getting these things showing properly. This is back to not working at all. Maybe it's not really gonna help me. 200, there we go. All right, I don't know what was going on earlier, but now they're showing at least. All right, so what we're gonna do is come over here and say that is active. Let's first of all get the query param. So see, this is dynamic, right? Let's do like components, filters. All right, so right here, let's astro.url. Search params. So if we console like this, you'll see, oh, I have to actually pick off the item, right? So if I do params dot get, and we could get like filter. If I add something like filter equals, I don't know, inactive. Nope. Like that. And I come over here, you'll notice that inactive is one of these search params, right? So that's the item we got. So now I can pick off this individual item. And I guess, can you just pick it off the end of this? I can't remember how this works. Can I just do this? Let's see. Inactive, yeah. So you can just pick it off the end of that. I assumed you could, but that's my timer to say I should be done. So, man, I can't believe how little we got done today. All right, so what I'm going to do is say that if, let's see, if b equals all, and there is no filter. All right, is that what I want? Then we'll do true. Otherwise, then I guess we'll just do like if filter equals b dot to lowercase. Kind of hacky, but a true, Boolean, or undefined. Oh, then if it's that, then it'll be true. Otherwise, it'll be false. Is that right? Strings. Okay. So that should work. This just doesn't need to be in quotation marks. Okay, so now we can have active, or what if it's all? What will it do? So all will work, and all will also work here. Yeah, okay. Logic. Okay, so now what we need to do is to have some kind of like data action. We'll do like filter, and then data. Let's see, what else do I need? I guess I could do like data filter equals, right? Whatever that thing happens to be. So we'll say filter dot to lowercase, just to keep it consistent, I suppose. And let's grab all these down below here. And again, this is probably the point at which like React might speed you up, but it's not going to be that much. Const filter buttons equals, oh wait. Nope. Document.query selector. We're going to have a data action, I guess, equals filter. What did I say? Data action equals filter. Yeah. All right. as node list of, might as well. HTML button element, nope. HTML button element, like that. All right, so now we're gonna filter buttons dot add event listener for const button filter buttons. We're going to button to add event listener, where we'll listen for a click, and whenever one of these things are clicked. So here's where I think I'm just gonna like hard refresh and just let that's probably super hacky, but I guess we could like comb through the DOM and like strip stuff out. This is where something again like React would help, but again, this is supposed to be a simple project. Let's see. Button, I want to get the, we could just do this, I think. Filter, that's probably what I should have done earlier from button.dataset. So let's just see what happens. All right, so if I click here, that should have said active. Can I pick that off? Let's try again. Action.filter, let's make sure I'm actually getting these. Yeah. Didn't I call it filter, data filter? Filter. This is not filter. This should be B. Dot 2 lowercase. And now if I click active, okay. So here, let's just pick off the filter and destructure it from there directly. Okay, that should still work. Yep. All right, so we could just say like if filter equals all, because those are basically our options here. So I could even type these just so. All right, can I do it like, no, what am I doing? I forget how to type this in TypeScript now. Filter, something. I've completely forgotten everything. Okay, it's fine. We'll just do it like this. All right. I mean, it was going to be fake typing anyhow. So filter equals all. Then I think we could just like window dot reload. What am I looking for? Location dot URL assign equals. What does this say? Yeah. I should probably pick that off Astro params, but it's fine. So if I click this, it should just basically reload the window. So, and I want to actually strip out all the query params. So else for the filter, which this should be, it's going to say undefined. So let's just return here. And then we'll say if no filter, let's do that, then just return. So then we'll say else. What are we thinking? Params equals new URL params, and then yeah, let's also grab this as like a base. And I could probably pass this in, then I lose all my typing. Not that I have that much. Maybe I should just do that. So you can pass stuff in to here using defined vars. Or could have like a base URL equals, or that's what I'd be passing in. Can I just pass in astro.site directly here? No. So base URL, and we can pick this off up top. So const a base URL equals, yeah, I think that probably makes sense. Base URL equals astro.site config. So just to make sure I'm getting what I think I am here, this should give me here, let's check actually off this. Let's do import.meta.env.prod. Nope. Mode. So this should say dev. Yeah, development. Okay, so if this equals development, then this would be local host 4321. Otherwise, it will be my astro.site. Okay. All right, so then I can go over to my Astro config and I can set a site. Or we can say like, I don't know, coding in public or something like that, .com. Okay, so if we're in prod, which maybe we can test that in a second if this thing wants to save, we can basically pick off this base URL. This is now going to be passed down here, which means we also lose our ability to do typing, which I think we already got rid of all that. So then what I can do is just pass this in as the base URL. All right, otherwise what we're going to do is we'll say params.set filter to whatever the filter is, and then we will return window.location. Let's see, what's the best way to do this? I mean, I could just return a string, window.location assign. How does this assign work? Yeah, like this, right? I think assign's the right thing to use here. I guess I should have URL equals new. Pass in the base URL. I'm way overcomplicating this. How do I assign this? I forget. I don't recall. So let's just do this. Instead of like way overcomplicating this, I should be able to just say base URL filter equals B or whatever the thing is, button filter. Okay. So if this thing will load over here, looks like now it's going to, but I should be able to say active. It shows active, inactive, all. Now we actually don't filter by that yet. So that's one final thing to do, and we should be able to do that with JSON placeholder. So views greater than, I'm guessing this means equal. Probably. So let's try that. Page sort ID. What other examples do they show? Page equals 1. That's if you're paginating. Start, no. Greater than. I'm guessing I just do this. Let's try. So we're going to wait that. We'll do like is active equals true. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So what we're going to want is to pick off here the same kind of thing. So I guess we could extract this into its own little helper, but maybe I can just pass this on to filter equals filter. Now we don't have to redo that. Extension wrapper. We're going to pull in const filter from astro.props. All right, so we'll just say like if there is a filter. There's a filter, then let's tack on filter equals filter. Can I do this? Filter like this. Otherwise, we'll just do an empty string. Okay, so that's an empty string. This is only the active. This is only the inactive. But it's obviously returning everything to me, so what am I getting in here? Let's check. String or null? We're getting active, inactive. So it should be only returning to me the active, right? Or the inactive or whatever, because it's actually getting that filter in there. Or all is null, so it should return everything. These are returning the same no matter what. Okay, so what am I doing wrong here? Let's get this data back. Filter equals filter. Didn't we say... Yeah, let's see what this call is doing. I go here, filter equal active. Is active true, is active true, so it's still, oh, it's is active. Chris is active. Okay, active, all, inactive. Okay, cool. I obviously have the toggles wrong as well. Okay, we're gonna say checked is true if it is checked. Pure check should move it that way. Let's swap this around, right? So pure checked would be this, otherwise it'll be blue. I think that's right. And then we're gonna say that if it's pure checked, it should be translate x 0, maybe. All right, so these are the active ones. These are the inactive ones. I can toggle this. We don't yet reload or anything, but because we're not actually patching that correctly somehow. But at least we got something kind of halfway functional. Hopefully you learned something today. Hopefully that was at least entertaining for you. Why did everything crash? We don't know. But we got this nice little like server thing coming in here. So that's cool. We'll go back to my index route. What else did I want to look at real fast? Get rid of that. I don't know. The filter thing is the last thing. I'm not sure how this patch is working. JSON server patch. It's a patch. Do I have to pass this along? Maybe that's the issue. It's possible. Let's try that and see if that's the issue. That should have passed that on anyhow, though, in that action. I don't know. Let's go back to the index. And see if that changes anything for some reason. Nope. So, I am passing along. This is going to be is active. And I was going to change it to the opposite of whatever it currently is. It's just saying it's false, but... yeah, it's not persisting. So I don't know. I'm doing something wrong here. I'm sure it's something simple, judging by the rest of today. But anyhow, hopefully you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching, those of you stuck around. And just remember, some days are like that, and that's okay. But I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Happy coding.